It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
In the criminal justice system, sexually-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
If you date a black girl, she's gonna have black hair, black skin, and black features. I didn't know that was like rocket science. I don't know. Hey y'all, I'm Lily, and I was in a full-blown relationship with a full-blown colorist. Hold on. Let me explain. So y'all already know with my story times, I tell you guys who is who, what is what, and what's tea. Let's get right into it, y'all. We're going to call him Thomas, like Thomas the Train, or Tommy for short. I'm calling him Thomas the Train because, y'all, this man has a round head, his face is fat, and he has big old eyes. Like, he literally looks like Thomas the Train. So along the course of our relationship, Thomas would always make comments that were like super colorist when I look back. But in the moment, I didn't feel like they were a big deal because he wasn't saying anything that I hadn't heard, like either at home or like at school, or just not even pertaining to me, but like in the black community in general. So the first thing that I can recall that was super colorist and like a big red flag was he was always talking about my nose, y'all. He was always making jokes, making comments about the size of my nose, you guys. He would just always make sure to let me know that my nose was big, as if I already did not know that. And thank God I was never like a insecure girl when it came to like my
nose ain't even big,
ugly, I guess you could say. And I'm gonna be honest too, I was used to comments about my nose size. My siblings literally would make fun of me. When I would go to school, the kids would make fun of my nose. But like I said, like my nose has never been something that I've been like self-conscious about or insecure about. So again, I was like letting these comments, I guess you could say, slide. Another red flag that I would disregard was the fact that he was always talking about my hair. So I have type 4 hair, and y'all, this man will always say little things like,
I hope when we have kids, they get my hair and not your nappy hair. Your hair is not good. Like, you got BDBs in the back of your neck.
I would like laugh it off because, again, I'm used to these things being said to me by my family, and or if they're not pertaining to me, these are things that are talked about all the time in the black community, y'all. Like, so I don't want, this sounds bad for me to say that like it was like normalized, but because it's really not okay. But I would just disregard it, and I would like, you know, make jokes back at him. I would roast him back. But like, this was not okay. This man hated me, y'all, for real. So one day I had came back home from vacation, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, when I come back from vacation, I am always super bronzed, chocolate. I'm always dark. So I remember he came and he picked me up from the airport, and y'all, do y'all know this man turned to me with such disgust in his eyes, y'all, and he was like,
"You are so dark."
I think it was at this moment where I was like, mind y'all, Tommy is dark, okay? I was dark coming back from vacation, but I still was not his color, okay? So what are you trying to say, sir? So this is where things got really like, weird. So his mom would always make comments about his stepbrothers being super black and super dark, and like she would just talk about them like they were literal animals. Mind y'all, this is a black woman. I want to say probably like 2 shades darker than me, okay? She would only say these things because her son, Tommy, was a little bit lighter than them, but they're all dark, y'all. They are all dark, right? So Tommy proceeds to literally say,
"You out here looking like my brothers in them."
Y'all, I absolutely lost it in the car, y'all. Like, I was like, you're literally a colorist. Like, your whole family is full of colorists. Y'all hate yourselves. Like, y'all hate the skin that y'all are in. And honestly, I feel like you guys hate being black. Like, his mom literally thinks she's Caucasian or something, which is so... I can make a whole other video on that. I actually have a lot to say. But he starts getting so angry, y'all. And he like...
"I'm not no colors. Don't call me no colors. What is wrong with you?"
Starts going crazy. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, Yeah, you a colorist. Because nobody would be this angry if they weren't just egging it on. Because you're actually angry at this point. So I'm like, you literally don't like black girls. And I wish you would literally just say that. He starts yelling even louder, y'all. I must have really struck a nerve. He like,
you sound real dumb. You sound real dumb. All my past girlfriends have been black. My ex is darker than you.
I was like, okay, and if she's darker than me, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know the things that you were saying to her. As if he was going to make this situation any better. If I am lying, I am dying right here on this camera. He proceeds to say,
matter of fact, the only light-skinned girl I dated was literally ugly for a light-skinned girl.
I really need to understand, in what world is that helping your case?
All light skin don't be pretty.
Same thing as she's pretty for a dark skinned girl. What the are you talking about? So anyways, we kept going at it, kept going back and forth. And I was really just telling him like, you're a colorist. Your mama a colorist. Your granny a colorist. Y'all all colorists and y'all are all black as shit. We did end up breaking up shortly after that. I have so many stories about Tommy. Tommy hated me, okay? That man hated my guts. I'm gonna be real, looking back at the relationship, I think I hated Tommy too. Because I'm gonna tell what I did too, but no, Tommy actually hated me for real. I realized a lot of black men date black women because that's what they're like supposed to do. But like, a lot of them don't actually like black women because they don't like themselves. And it's really irritating to me because I just feel like, why are you gonna date a black woman and then criticize her for being black? If you date a black girl, she's gonna have black hair, black skin, and black features. I didn't know that was like rocket science. I don't know. I get that you hate yourself, but stop being weirdos. Anyway, stay blessed. Bye, y'all.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. Back in the confessional. Yes, we staying lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Shout out to my player partner, Lucky Wilson Tears. Your boy keeps it lit. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Here's the links down below. We got HiveMindLabs.com. We got Moose Coffee. And we got the beautiful Opulence Scents. Man, I'm telling y'all the best candles on the market. You got Opulence Scents, then you got Bath and Body Works. Those are the best candles you can get. Unless you get those $5 candles at Ross. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about, the man candles at Ross. If you get those, you got Opulence Scents, Bath and Body Works, and then number 3, Ross candles. Anyway, trust me, and use the discount code everydaypj at checkout. So let's get into it, man. I know for a fact dark-skinned men always date lighter complected women. Dark-skinned women always date lighter complected men. I've always dated growing up because I went to black schools. I always deal with black women, black everything. I had one red bone, and shout out to, I ain't gonna say her name on her, but she was tough. She was a bully. Man, when I was with her, nobody messed with me, cause she'll whoop your ass. She will whoop your ass. Till this day, we talk about this. I was like, shit, I was only with you for protection. Shit, you used to whoop everybody's ass. Shit, you didn't play when it came to PJ. Shit, she whoop, but she beat the brakes off y'all. But shout out to her. She's still fine. You know what I'm saying? I think she gay now, but it is what it is. And then it was another girl, I ain't gonna say her name, but she was dark than the mother too. And I was like, that was used to be my boo. And she still, I think she gay too. Damn, do I be turning all these women? Damn it. If you dated PJ 9 times out of 10, you like women nowadays. Yeah, anyway, but nah, but she was, yeah, that was like, she was fine in the mug too. But she was dark. She was darker than the mug too. But I don't know. It didn't matter. I remember hearing the jokes, and then hearing the jokes and being like, not defend. I mean, leave my girlfriend alone. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, and then now thinking about it, what we used to talk, how we used to talk about people back then. We used to talk about my sister's nose. Actually, all of us got big noses. My sister's, hers is just bigger than the rest of us. She got my mama's nose. You know what I'm saying? We all got my mama's nose, but she really got my mama's nose. But then, you know, it looked good on her. It's hers. You know what I'm saying? It's just like at some point we stopped talking about her nose because she could whoop your ass. My sister used to whoop our ass, so she was whoop me, my cousins, everybody. She was not playing. She'll whoop your ass. So if you gonna get talked about, learn how to fight. That's all. The moral of the story. Anyway, but yeah, people used to say something. But I remember even in school when they talk about my sister nose, a girl said something about my sister nose. Guess what? They had matching noses the next day. She learned that day, okay. And then you know what's crazy is that was in like 6th grade, so you had to go like 6 more grades with my sister. I bet she didn't make one other comment about my sister for the next 6 years. At least the next 6 years. You probably trying to be a friend, but boy, my sister, yeah. You talk about her, you better back that shit up. But anyway, I get it. And I hate that she says a lot of black men, because no, it's not a lot of black men. A lot of us ain't colorists. No, I'm going to tell you, the environment that you in is the woman that you're going to date. If you're in an environment that allows you to be around certain type of women, not white women, a certain type of women, and aesthetics matter, 9 times out of 10, white women come in there hella presented. Everybody be like, oh, she's so beautiful. And they like, oh yeah, she's nice, she this and that. And so you'll overlook a beautiful black woman to be with that white woman because everybody's infatuated with her whiteness, or a Spanish woman because she's a lighter tone. And that's why I think a lot of these black women like this woman, and nothing against her, but you know, she's using a lot of lighter tone makeup. So don't be mad at your black skin and you using all this lighter tone makeup. You looking like 3 different shades of the light hitting you. You know what I'm saying? Where's the light hitting at today? The light hit over here, so it's going. You gonna see the rose in here. You gonna like all that shit. Like, come on, man. But it's okay. I don't care. That's your makeup. If you want to look however you want to look, I don't care. It makes no sense. But it's crazy to be talking about being colorist and putting on all this makeup to make you look lighter. I remember there was a kid I went to school with. His mom used to be like, put hella makeup on, and she was a darker complected person. But when you see her, this is way before. I bet you her makeup right now to this day is on fleek. But back then it used to look a hot mess because there was no contour, there was no different shades. Her ass just used to change her skin from dark skin to light skin. That was just it. And I'm talking about probably everything from the chest plate down used to be like blacker than a mug, but everything up, everything that you could see was a different color. Even her ears. She probably used to put goddamn makeup on her ears. But yeah, colorism was a thing, man, you know, back in the day. But now to be a colorist in 2025 is weird. Like, if you don't like black women, just don't date. Go find the skin tone that you want. Like, it's not a bad thing. Like, I've never had well, I'll take that back. See, my mom and them always joking me with like, shit, if I date a skinny girl, my mom be like, you ain't his type. I be like, shut up. She be like, yeah, he like big girls. He like them big. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? What are you talking about, Mom? What are you talking about? Now I gotta feed the bitch cause she over here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call her. Anyway, now I gotta feed her. You know what I mean? But that's my mom. Shout out to my mom. But it was never, oh, you too light skinned, you too dark skinned. It was never a thing like that. Cause you know I did. And one thing I hate the most is like, I have kids by white women. I have kids by black women too. And people be like, "Oh, you like white women?" Like, man, don't say that. I hate that. I hate that. Don't try to put me in that box of who I like and who I like. Don't do that. Because man, my daughter even told me today, that's what you get for dating white women. I was like, nigga, you're half white. What are you talking about? I was like, well, it was one of my worst mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't white women. It wasn't all the white women. It was just that woman. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta, I don't know. The whole colorist situation is dumb as hell. Like, if you a guy, man, don't date a woman. If you gotta talk about a girl every day, like if you're not joking about a girl, like I have a girlfriend that I always talk about her big ass feet, or I had a girlfriend. My uncle used to call us Norbin and Rasputia. Now, don't let's not go into PJ like big girls type conversation. I'm just saying, you know, you can make jokes, but like they're all in fun. You're not supposed to make jokes where you make a person feel uncomfortable. So if I'm ever joking on a girl, I'm like, hey, you know, this, this. But I like to laugh. I like to make fun. But if it makes you uncomfortable, and speaking of, it was another girl. She said people used to talk about her nose. I said, your nose ain't big. Like, why would people talk about you? My nose is bigger than your nose. Like, my shit go high. Look at that. So I said, I don't get it. Your nose is nice. Like, kids can be cruel. But that's not a thing. Like, to be insecure about your nose and want to get a nose job is because people say your nose is rounded more than theirs. What, you want a pointy nose? I want my nose to be more pointy. For what? This woman is not a bad looking woman at all. We don't know what she looked like under that makeup, but who cares? It's like, she's beautiful. So, you know what? Let's put it like this. If you don't like the way the person that you're dating looks, why are you dating them? It just sounds dumb, right? I don't like he bald. Well, okay, I'm not finna go to Turkey to fix it, so whatever. I'll find somebody who likes it. I don't like his beard. You want me to cut my beard off? That's minimal. That's it. I don't like how he snore. You want to listen to a CPAP machine, or you want to hear me snore? One or the other. You gonna get some noise in the nighttime. But physicality, he's short. His hair, his ears are too big. I got big ears. Y'all can't see it. Luckily, I got these on. Because other than that, y'all be like, damn, that nigga ear big in the mug. So we talking about physical appearances. And colorism is like the worst of the physical appearances. Like, it's, especially if you black. I know another family, colorist in the mug too. But it was just weird. It was just weird to hear it. To hear somebody say something because a person is dark was weird, especially from an old person. Because older people, they know what they be saying, but it's a reason why they say that. Because back in the day, the fair skinned person used to get the best treatment. And so those old people, oh yeah. Old people do it, but we should get past that. If you like a dark skinned person, like, eventually a lot of people gonna be more not as black unless you're coming from Africa or coming from Jamaica or something. But then you have dark skinned people here, but they're all breeding with lighter, fair skinned people because they knew how much they was getting talked about as a kid, and they don't want their kid to be secluded to the same hatred that they got as a kid. And that's where a lot of it stems from, being bullied as a kid. So it ain't got nothing to do with you, sister. It's some deep rooted stuff that's going on in that man's mind, man. Just, you know, just, you should have cut that off a long time ago. I don't see why you did that. But anyway, everyday people, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm holla at you later. Peace.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as quick as 1 week.